Good evening, Roger Pascal here. Glad to see you here at Impact TV. We are here today to talk about real estate. Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. We had a absolutely incredible meeting yesterday. We did a 8 hour subject to training yesterday. We had over 60 people in the room, and it was just phenomenal. We had some past students that were in that room. We had a gentleman that was there that came to the training a couple of years ago and had never done a real estate deal, did not know anything about real estate before he came to that meeting 2 years ago. The next 12 months, he did 29 subject to deals. So that's what we're looking for. So we had over 60 people in the room yesterday. We went over all things subject to. We just had a incredible meeting. We had a RMLO in there, residential mortgage loan originator, Sarah from Texas Pride Lending. We had Amy from August REI, and they were both going over the new SB 43 and some regulations on that, and what we're doing, and how we do that, and how we stay in compliance with everything we do on that. So that was exciting. We had diverse title there, and they specialize in doing creative deals for investors. They do subject twos, they do double closes, they do all this other stuff in there. We're excited to have them in there, and of course we had our patriarch in there, Mr. Dennis Henson. So Dennis Henson went over some areas in there, the what we offer with real impact training and how we did that. And then we talked about our getaway that we're going to be having in March. We just had one a little over a month ago in Cancun. We're going to be having another one in the end of March, 1st of April. So we're excited about that and making that happen. So we are just absolutely pumped with what we had yesterday and how we put that together, and and the people in the room, the electricity in there, the excitement in there that we had. It was just absolutely amazing. That was the best subject to meeting I've ever done, and we were just trying every way in the world to cram everything into that because there's so much information that we put into that meeting, and we're so excited for everybody that was there yesterday. We hope you're on board tonight. We hope you put in any questions you have in the chat areas, because we want to get those answers to you. We've already got some questions that are to us already, so we're going to be going over those a little bit later tonight in this call. And like I said, I'm just absolutely pumped and excited for everything that happened yesterday. It was just I can't tell you how much electricity was in that room. And anytime we do these subject to all day trainings, we always see a massive influx of subject to deals happening in the next week, 2 weeks. I mean, it's just like it's one of those deals, and this is kind of what I said in the room yesterday, is when you go out and you're looking to buy that car and you're going to buy that red Mustang, and you never see a red Mustang on the road. You buy that red Mustang, you're driving it home, you see 5 or 6 red Mustangs going home. That's how it works with subject to. That's how it works with any of the training that you do, is all of a sudden you're on the radar and you're looking to see what is out there, and you're looking to see what people are. You see the opportunities. You see people out there, and all of a sudden you realize this can be an opportunity, and I can help solve their problem, and I can help them out of the situation when a realtor can't help, when the for sale by owner thing won't help, when the bank's definitely not helping them at all. So all those things that come together, we wind up with subject twos. It is amazing how that works. So everybody in that room, anybody on this call tonight, especially if you were in that room yesterday, just open your eyes, listen to what's going on, listen to what people have out there, and you're going to do extremely well. Really want you to put any questions that you may have in the chat area. Um, we do this meeting every Sunday night. We will not be doing, no, we'll be doing our meeting next week, but the week after, Thanksgiving week, The Sunday after Thanksgiving, we will not be on, but we'll be here next Sunday night too. So, with that said and done, we have one of our absolutely phenomenal, incredible impact master trainer. It is Pam Clary. Pam runs the Decatur Alliance Corridor and impact real estate investment meetings up there. That whole group up there, incredible people that she has up there in her group that they come to the meetings, they learn about real estate, they're active on social media, they're active on calling Pam and calling, find out what's going on and get questions or answers to their questions. Have training, the training that we do. So let's put Pam on the screen right quick. And Pam,
Hi.
you've got our tip of the week this week. So tell us what our tip of the week is.
So our tip of the week is we're gonna go twofold here. Okay. It's coming up to the end of the year. We're talking about goals. We've been talking about mindset, setting goals and things like that. But I also think we need to talk about evaluating our goals for the past year that we've done. So our tip is, and this is by our famous Dennis Hansen, is talking about change. I can't do that. So the goal is not that I can't do that, it's how do you do that? And he ties that even into as, when your goal cannot be reached, don't change the goal, adjust and take action to it. Okay. So, we need to set goals, but at the same time, we need to go back and look at our goals. Were they attainable? Did we reach them? What are we, if your goal is to make, $10,000 a month in whatever you do and you haven't reached that goal, don't change the goal. Look back. What did I do? What do I need to do? What steps, what action do I need to change in order to reach that goal? So that's the tip. Change your thought, your mindset from I can't do that to how can I do that? And remember, goals are a desire. Goals, it's a dream. Without goals, you can't have dreams. Without dreams, you can't have goals. So it's very important to reevaluate and look back. And that is something that me and my crew are doing. I went to someone's office the other day talking about goals, and this person thought I was going to say that's not attainable. They were like, because I was explaining to them, let's look at your goals, your floor plan. You're wanting to do this many transactions, and I made a comment about it would be easier to do 3 transactions a month and make $30,000 a month instead of doing 20 transactions and only making 1,000. And they came back at me and said, well, why can't I do 20 and transactions and make 10,000 off of each? And I said, well, let's look at your footprint. Let's look at your goal. Let's look at your road map. Is it attainable? I wasn't going to sit there and tell, this person, no, that's not real. You can't do that. No, we need to look at your footprint, your road map to get there. So that's my tip. And, like I said, we not only need to set, we need to evaluate them.
Well, that is fabulous. Thank you so much, Pam. That is so true. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people out there that they don't have goals; they have wishes, and they'll never do anything because they just wish things will happen and wish things will fall in their lap and wish they were this different or that different or wish they were skinnier or heavier or different. I've always said people with straight hair want curly hair. People with curly hair want straight hair. That's kind of the way. That's kind of the way it is. It's kind of amazing. So that's just kind of.
And when you're doing your goals, and you should be putting them on some type of vision. A vision board. I have mine on vision boards. I have it on the car, whatever you want to call it, the thing. I have them on my bathroom mirror. now I'm going to figure out, Hannah's trying to figure out how to put them on my phone. So I picked this up the other day, like, oh man, take my top two or three, my top three actions, put them on the phone. Cause we're all constantly looking at our phone. So, just, you've got to have a vision. You have to have that dream. And at the same time, you need to look at, you know, and I went back and through this and did this about a month ago when we came back from the getaway. And nobody's going to believe this, but one of my things is fear. Mine is fear of time management. 'Cause I don't have a fear of making money or being successful. It is, once it all starts coming in, it's managing it and putting it out. So, but we're working
Yeah,
on
for those of us that go to Dennis's office, that's what Dennis has on his computer
it. Yes.
monitor. He has his vision board on there. He looks at
Mhm.
that every day. And I have a vision board that is in my I use Google Keep, and it's a great way to keep it's a great way to have lists and stuff but I have areas in there that have my visions in there. You can put pictures in there. I have some bullet points in there and my goals and our vision and things that we want to do and things that Lena Jean and I enjoy doing together and
Mhm.
having fun going to the various different places that we go to. And it's just it is so important that we do that and that we understand that we need to have something that we're working towards every single day, and
Yeah.
it will come true.
Yeah. And the other thing is, don't give up on it. I think so many people, they think they put something up unrealistic. It's like, okay, here comes January 1st, 2022, and I want to make $1 million. Okay, is that really unrealistic? It's so here we come in, 6 months from now, and I haven't even done a deal. Well, reevaluate. Don't give up the dream, the desire, and the goal. Look back and evaluate and look at your steps. What am I doing to not get there? And a lot of times it's asking for help.
Absolutely. I had a phone call just this last week of a family friend that I haven't heard from in 10 or 15 years. Lena Jean and I used to own an antique mall, and she wound up inheriting some antiques from her mother after her mother passed. And she was asking me various what's the value of this? What's the value of that? I didn't have a clue. So I asked her, I said, what are you doing? And she says, well, I haven't had a job in about 4 years. And I said, why not? And because she was going to sell this stuff that was, from her family, that was from her, not only her mother, but her grandmother and her great grandmother, some dishes and stuff like that. I'm like, why are you selling those? Well, she hadn't had a job in like years. And I said, why not? And she says, well, I'm in a lawsuit. I'm trying to sue somebody and I'm going to get a bunch of money from that. And I said, so you put your whole life on hold
Um,
while somebody else is making a decision on your future? That they're making a decision
mhm.
that, you got a judge that's going to make that decision whether or not you're going to get any money from somebody. And then the other moving parts on there is, does that guy have any money to give you? Does he have money to pay a lawyer to put it into, to appeal it? And then you never see it for the rest. So I told her, I said, why did you put your life on hold for 4 or 5 years betting on a lawsuit that may not ever happen? I've been involved in business all my life, and I've seen lawsuits and seen lots of them. Various friends of mine that's gone through them. I've gone through them. The lawyers are the ones that make the money. Nobody
Yeah.
else does because they have the goals. They have their goals set up. They know what they're looking for. They know what they're doing. Where the individual out there that doesn't know what they're doing is
Mhm.
is sitting literally on hold until something happens, until that wish comes true. They're throwing that dime into the wishing well, hoping that something's going to happen, and it doesn't happen till you make it happen.
That's right. That's
You
sad that
know,
she's waiting 4 years. I mean, and she didn't take any steps or actions, to try to make it happen sooner. That's
absolutely. And she's one of the best salespeople I've ever known in my life. She could go
wow.
anywhere and get a sales job because she's just good at it. And it's just sad that like I said, I haven't heard from her in about 15 years. And, and her life is on hold. So anybody out there, all the people out there that we work with, through Impact, that is a huge part of our
Yes.
program, is to put um, things in writing. You do your affirmation, you do your goals. One thing that Dennis does very well every year is we all sit down with Dennis every January and we review our goals. And you know what are your plans for this next year? So if you're a student with us and you say, I'm going to buy 12 houses in the next year, and then what we do is we sit down with you, in January, and go, okay, last year you did 12 houses. What are your goals this year? And what are you going to do to make those? What are you going to do to make that happen? So, so that is just perfect timing for that tip of the week. We're going into the end of the year. We
Mhm.
all have that reset button that we kind of think about every January. We have various things that we look at and say, "Yeah, we need. I need to do this. I've been putting this off. I've been putting it off. I need to go ahead and put it in." So,
Yes.
uh, all right, good deal. So, Pam, tell
Yes.
me what is going on at Decatur Alliance Corridor.
We uh we have a lot going on. Well, me personally and my team, we have a lot going on. We are going to we have our meetings at Big Shot Golf, and so we're going this next week to do some filming at Big Shot Golf to let people know what it looks like, what all there is to do. And they're on board with it. They're excited because this is like free, advertisement for them. We had about 17 people that showed up last time, and we had a great crowd, and there was new faces that came, and we had faces that didn't show up. And you did a great presentation, Roger. Thanks for talking about subject 2. I had people to call me that are interested in learning how to do this. Hopefully within 2 weeks, we're going to have our Justin property finished and on the market. So we are on schedule for that closing. So we just got a lot going on.
All
We
right.
we have people in our group that are driving properties for us to help us find deals. Um, like I said, I've been with several of the people in our group riding around, showing them how, to knock on doors and just doing all kinds of different things. So there we go.
All right. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Pam, thank you so much
Thank you.
for making that happen. Now, I've got some questions. I'll stay on here for a couple of seconds, Pam, because I've got first thing I've got is I want to answer somebody's question. Wayne's asking about how does he get on? How does he get on the video part of this? Well, we don't have that. We're limited on that. So on the questions that you have, Wayne, just put them in the chat box. Just put the questions in the chat area. We just don't have the system set up that we can add a lot of people on the video. So we apologize for that, but that seems to be working best for us. How we work this with the with YouTube, and it bleeds over into the Facebook pages and the Facebook groups that we have there. So put any questions you have in the chat area there. So we have a question here, Pam, that you're going to help me with because you're going to know the answer. This is Aaron from Shreveport. He says, how do I get involved in my nearest RIA meeting? What do I need to do to be involved, to have that connection in my Real Impact RIA meeting?
Well, first of all, hopefully we're going to be opening up a franchise. Where is he at Shreveport?
Yeah, but I mean, how would somebody in
Well, first
let's
of
just
all,
turn this? How would somebody in Denton get involved?
you need to do you need to do several things. First of all, go to meetup.com, put in RE, real estate investment groups, the state and the town that you live in, and see what pulls up. Go to Facebook and put in real estate, Louisiana / whatever, to see what pulls up on that. Contact us. We will help you, find groups, to join and everything, contacting one of us to find out what's going on, in the area that you're wanting to be. So like I said, between MeetUp, meetup.com, Facebook, go to LinkedIn, type in, real estate investments and see real estate investments, Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't know the city but whatever the city is, put in the city in Louisiana and see what pops up, and then find out about your nearest, groups that are by. That's the best and easiest way. Did I answer the question?
You did. You did. Thank you. That is perfect. Now we have another one here, and this is kind of going to put your realtor hat on a little bit and your investor hat on here. But it's a guy named Oliver, and he's saying, "Do you ever feel like you're pushing the owner to make a decision? And when do you think it's too much or too little?" So you and I have both worked real estate for a long time, and there's a fine line in there to the point that you're, I say this comment often: throw up real estate all over people, or to throw up, I'm gonna buy your house, and I want to list it out, I want to do something. So if we're working with a client, if you're working with a client, what point do you think that you're pushing that client too far of trying to get them to take action?
First of all, I try not to ever put that client to feel in that situation. So I don't know if you're talking about, am I trying to talk to them over the phone, or if I'm in the, at the property talking to them. But what I'm trying to find out from the seller is, first of all, like, why are you selling the house? What's your reason? And then I asked them, are you ready to tell me what you think the property is worth? I mean, I try to engage them in the conversation. And here's the thing about it: whether I'm a real estate agent, if I'm a real estate agent and the property doesn't fit, then I turn on my investment hat and say, how are we going to get this to work so that it's benefiting you and into your favor? And if they're wanting, it has to be simple. And sometimes I'm putting back in, if it's something out of the ordinary. I mean, and I'm just going to use a number here. So if the property is, they are wanting 300,000, and it's only worth 250,000. I come back and I'm like, so, let me ask you an honest, true question. Would you pay 300,000 for your house in the condition it's in? And try to never put pressure on the seller. I try to have a conversation with them, being realistic, and having them involved in the situation. Hopefully I answered that person's question.
Absolutely. That's a perfect answer. And everybody is different. Everybody's an individual. And we don't want to be that person that they try to avoid and they try to hide from. But at the same time, go ahead.
The other thing is, I always say is, if it doesn't work, hey, Mr. Seller, we can't, our numbers are not there, and I can't work we can't work this. I said, but let me ask you another thing is, is there anything else I can do to help you accomplish your goal? And maybe it's helping you move, or, whatever it is. So you always want to leave with a positive thought in their head, not a negative thought in their head.
Absolutely. That is a perfect answer. And one thing that we really stress within Real Impact is we are problem solvers. And we are conditioned to recognize when somebody has a problem. We are conditioned to understand how what avenue we need to take to resolve that problem and to walk them through that. And that may be where we may not be involved in the deal. It may be where we tell them your best interest is to do this exit strategy. And it's something that is above and beyond what we do, on the basis of maybe it's listing their house. because they have equity in there and their house is sellable. They have, they have no reason to, or they don't have a why, should I say, like you were saying a
Mhm.
while ago. They've got to have that why. If they don't have a reason to sell that property, then it's going to be hard to pick that up at a discount. It's going to be hard to pick that up as a uh, as a as a product that we need, with the room in there. With the creative financing that we may do, or the creative offers that we do, or something on that basis. But when they do have a problem, when they do have a challenge, that's when we come in and we solve that challenge.
And here's the other thing is their why may not be today. Their why could be 30 days from now. It could be 60 days from now. If they can't give you a why, it doesn't mean they're just not ready. And that's when you're like, right now we can't make this situation work, but can I stay in contact with you? Or here, and if depending on whether they say yes or no, if they tell me no, I'm still going to send my name uh, across to them, because just because they don't know their why today doesn't mean they don't won't know their why a week from now, 30 days from now, 90 days from now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great answers, Pam. Appreciate it. We don't have another meeting in the Impact Decatur Alliance area until December, correct?
December 21st.
Wow, right before Christmas.
We're doing it. We all
We're going to
agreed
have a
to
Christmas
it.
party?
We're thinking about a Christmas party or a panel, but no, we're doing it. We're going to stick to the third Tuesday of the month.
All right. Hey, that'll be so cool. We'll plan a Christmas event, and I'll have a stocking hat on, and all
Come
that
on.
good stuff. There we go.
Maybe Santa could stop by.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, Pam, thank you so much. Tip of the week was incredibly well put out. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday, and then so thank you so much for being on here today. All right, good deal. So we had another question pop up here, and it is it's a question on a sub two. So we have Karen from Little Rock, and Karen is asking whether or not that does she need to work with an attorney and a realtor to do a sub two. Well, that's two different people there, and I can tell you that with my experience, I am a realtor, but I train realtors too. But with me being a realtor and talking to other realtors and doing subject twos for the better part of 20 years, you don't get a realtor involved in the subject two because they don't understand the process unless they have been educated what a subject two is. They don't understand the project, the process. All they're looking to do as a realtor is what they're trained in, and you've got to understand this. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a position that is needed out there. Is they represent people on selling a property in the MLS. They represent people in selling a property as a retail traditional type sale where the buyer is either paying cash or the buyer is either getting financing, and has nothing to do with a buyer essentially paying the existing mortgage. So that's something that you need to be aware of. Is if you get a realtor involved in it, it's probably going to fall apart. I've seen tons of deals fall apart because a realtor gets involved and a realtor makes a mess out of it, convinces the seller they don't want to work this, they want to work something else. And then I've seen those same properties go into bankruptcy or go into foreclosure. And it's just a sad deal to see, a sad deal to happen when a realtor gets involved and prevents the deal from going through. A subject to deal essentially is the last ditch effort for somebody before they go into foreclosure. Okay. A sub two deal is not a deal of somebody that has lots of equity in there or somebody that doesn't have a why. They have to have a why. They have to be done. They have to be ready to get away from that property. But I've seen where realtors have gotten involved. I've seen where they've talked to their, not their, talk to the seller, tell the seller, no, you want to just list it in the MLS and we can sell it traditionally. And then, we can sell it as is. Well, at that point, sometimes it doesn't get the price it needs to get. And there's a lot of lot of cost in selling with a realtor. There's a lot of cost for the seller. There's the realtor fees involved in it, whatever those commissions may be negotiated to. There's title fees associated with it. There may be some mortgage fees if the buyer is getting a mortgage. That there's some traditional fees that the seller might be asked to pay. There's fees in having things repaired, maybe a survey. The inspection comes through, and not a good negotiation on that can cost the seller a lot of money. So having a realtor involved in a sub-2 deal is probably not going to work out the best for everybody involved. And to have an attorney involved, absolutely. Our attorneys that we involve are title companies. Okay, I said this yesterday in the all-day meeting that the attorneys at a title company specialize. They're real estate attorneys. You can go to another attorney. You can go to a traffic attorney. You can go to a defense attorney. You can go to a corporate attorney. They're going to know a little bit about property laws. They're going to know a little bit about how to do a real estate deal, but they're not going to know near the amount that a title company attorney knows, because that's all they do and that's what they specialize in, and they'll make that happen. So we always use attorneys, but we always use them through the title company. And what the title company does, that they won't represent the buyer and they won't represent the seller, but they will represent the property. They will represent the deal and make sure all the paperwork is in place, all the paperwork is done right, and everybody is treated fairly in the eyes of the law. So we always have a title company involved. If you're in an area and you don't know if there's a title company out there that can work with you on a sub-2, then what you want to do is you want to get into a blog. You can get into Bigger Pockets. Number one is get with your local real estate investment meeting out there, the local RIA that is out there. You can find those on MeetUp.com for the most part. You can find some of them on Facebook. You ask around. Who has an attorney or who has a title company or an escrow attorney, depending on what state you're in, that specializes in real estate, that specializes in creative deals that are out there, that specialize in making things happen with real estate investors. Okay, so you've got to be able to make sure that you have that as part of your team. So we had Diverse Title at our meeting that we had, the all-day training. They are licensed. I don't remember now what they said. I think they said that they were licensed in either 31 or 37 states or something like that. So we can definitely answer those questions for you. So Karen, in Little Rock, yes, we can find you an attorney, or you can find an attorney on a blog, or you can find an attorney on somewhere on that basis. So that's the question that I wanted to make sure that we had an answer to. So right now I'm going to ask that we put on Doug and Renee. Doug and Renee. Well, no, we put on Renee.
No, we're both here.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Raj. How are you?
I'm all right. It looked like Doug just kind of dropped out of the sky, so it never fails. It never fails. The doorbell rings or something right when we're getting on the call, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Right. Hey, listen, I was going to go back and hit something you just were saying about diverse title. 36 states. They're licensed in 36 states, and they've been in the title industry for 15 years. Now, how do I know that? I know that because I was at the training yesterday, and that training was not only invaluable, and it was a refresher course for me, but the networking that I got to do with different people there. I mean, I talked to Chris McLucas, one of the owners of Diverse Title. I got to meet Amy with August REI. I got to talk to Sarah with the RMLO company that she's with. I met Anthony, who is a CPA with Strata Cloud. I mean, those connections yesterday were just invaluable. I got every one of their cards, and as well as some tremendous information about the Subject 2 program. So I'm so glad we took the time to drive to Dallas. And what's also exciting with the Longview area is we had 6 of our students come from Longview all the way to the Fort Worth area to the Forest Hill Civic and Convention Center and be a part of that. So it was a great meeting yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Good deal. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So y'all are working a subject 2 right now. You mentioned that a little bit yesterday. You got some things working. So you bought a subject 2 and you're doing a fix and flip on it and you're going to sell it, right?
Exactly.
Right.
We got into it. This is a great place. It's now a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage ranch on 2 acres with a pipe, sucker rod fence. It's amazing. If you wanted to keep horses, you could keep a couple of horses. I know for a fact you could probably run 3 or 4 cows on this place. So, if you can't afford a steak, you might want to think about growing your own.
One of the questions, Roger, that we heard the other day was, where do you find these deals? How do you find a subject 2? And the truth of the matter on this one was one of the techniques that was talked about. It's word of mouth. When people know what you do, they come to you and they go, "Hey, I've got a problem."
Right.
And that's what we're in the business of doing when we're in real estate investors. We are problem solvers for other people who have real estate messes.
Yep. So
Absolutely.
you talked about
absolutely. So go ahead, Doug.
So you talked about going to meetings like I don't know, church. You go to church, talk to people there, tell them what you do. When you go to Rotary Club meetings, you tell people, they ask you, what do you do? Well, if you're a plumber, don't say you're a plumber, say you're a real estate investor. And probably the first thing you should do is ask them what they do. Because if you ask them what they do, they're almost sure to ask you what you do.
Right.
So get out there.
Very good.
You have to talk to folks.
And you may be
Very
wondering
good.
when's our next meeting in the Longview area. It's coming up on Monday, December 13th.
That's right.
It'll be here at the Big Red Barn. And we want to invite everybody to come out and see the great big Christmas tree that Doug's going to cut down and put in the barn. Just like he did last year. We had about a 12 or 14-foot tree. It was huge and beautiful. So you're all invited.
Right. We're having Arnie Abramson. He's going to talk to everybody about another technique that we've used in the past, and that's tax sales. And, it doesn't happen every time, but we found some absolute fantastic banging deals with tax sales.
Yep.
And so you have to do your homework. You have to know how to do it. And Arnie, actually, I paid Arnie to teach me how to do all this. And, having a mentor in your back pocket that you can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, well, what about this issue? Or what about that?" It's going to keep you out of trouble. And it was worth every single penny. So
Absolutely. We're going to ask Arnie to come and talk to us in the next couple of weeks on our Sunday night chat. So we're going to have him as a guest speaker. We're going to have him kind of go over what's going on. Lots of stuff happening. They haven't had they haven't had their normal amounts of tax sales in the last 18, 20 months. So they're coming out there. They're going to be flooding the market. In the last several months, we've had more investors than we've had properties. I think that's going to flip around on us, and we're going to have more properties than we have investors. It's going to get us a great way to invest in some real estate there.
Yeah.
So
learn it now.
All right. So there we go. And then so we're excited about that. We're excited. When do you think you're going to have that sub 2 on the market? When are you going to think you're going to be marketing that?
It'll be in a week or two. Hopefully a week, but it may be a couple of days into the next week. So
yeah,
somewhere around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may have it done by this week on Friday. That's my hope, but it may actually be next week
Yeah.
before we get it done.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Doug, Renee, thank you so much. We had a
Yeah,
question
and
on there a while ago. CJ, can you pull those questions up real quick? Um, and I might need to have, let's see here. Well, I want to, can you put John's comment on there? Because that is just something that I would love to go over with the tunes right quick. Where that one right there. Can you put that on there? There it is. He says, John says, I have to say that since I met the Real Impact team, my family and I have found a whole new outlook on life and business. And that is just incredible. Now, John found us, I think, on this call, didn't he? On one of the Sunday
Yes.
night calls.
Yes.
And John and Jennifer, his wife, have
Jessica.
been just
Jessica.
Jessica. I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm terrible on names.
That's okay.
John and Jessica have been absolutely plugged into this system. I'm just excited because I'm going to watch them, and we're going to all watch them go into incredible new levels of their life. So that is such an exciting comment that you made out there, John, and that is so true. That is so much. That's why this is so much fun in this business, is to watch people grow, watch their whole dynamics in life change for the better, for
That's right.
building a legacy for their children, doing things in their faith, helping people all over the world. And I know that you and I and the three of us, not together, but we've all been on mission trips. We've all been on helping people that can never pay us back. And that is the most rewarding thing that I think that we can do in life. So that is just a compliment to y'all of what John just said and how it has just absolutely changed his outlook on life and and really put them on the right direction. I saw them yesterday. We had dinner with them the night before. Sorta. They were coming in as we were going out, so we didn't have dinner with them. We just kind of high-fived each other as we were passing. But this is just absolutely exciting. So, but thank you both for being on here, and I'm going to run to another couple of questions. And CJ, if you can put the next question on there on a subject two. We kind of went over this yesterday on a subject two. How do you add yourself to the insurance coverage? First thing you've got to do, DS, is you've got to get a power of attorney on that real estate property from the sellers, giving you permission to talk to the insurance company. If you don't have permission to talk to the insurance company, then they're not going to give you the time of the day. Now, most insurance companies that I've worked with understand this when it's explained to them what you've done. You can't just assume they know what they're doing, because if they have not done a subject to before, they don't know. They can't really. They're not going to go thinking outside the box. So on a subject to, you've got to do that. Now, if you don't have, and what I normally do is try to work with the existing insurance company they're working with. If it's I don't know, I don't want to say this in the wrong way. I don't want to get beat up by insurance agents, but if it's a traditional insurance, it's a bricks and sticks office. If it's somebody that you can actually talk to, that is not a call center somewhere in another continent or another state, it is somewhere that somebody you can actually talk to. If you're, you can reach out to us and tell us where you're at, and we can kind of give you an idea. So if that insurance company that they're working on now won't work with you, then we'll have to get you in front of another insurance agent that can work with you. Okay. And how do you add yourself to it? You add yourself to it by using the power of attorney, the POA, and you present that power of attorney signed and notarized by the seller to the insurance company. And then you tell that insurance company that the mortgage holder, the person on that mortgage, has to be on that policy as additional insured. You do not take that person off the policy. You're on there as a primary insured. They're on there as the secondary insured. Okay, so you've got coverage over the top. They're in there because their name is on the mortgage. So that's the simplest answer I've got you on that. I hope that explains it. I don't know who you are, DS, but I'm hoping you might have been at the meeting yesterday. I don't know. So next question we have is from Bradley. Bradley, so I just kind of touched on this. We were running a little short on time yesterday because we had some great comments in there. We had some great people in there that were giving some good information. What happens when the seller passes away that you've done a subject to with? This has happened to me personally on several occasions. You know what happens? Nothing, because you are the owner of the property, and the mortgage company cannot call a loan because somebody has died. They can call a loan for other things if you're not making the payments, if you don't have the insurance done right, as what DS was saying asking a while ago. But just because an owner passes away. So if, for instance, you have your parents and they own a house and they have a mortgage on it and they pass away, as long as that mortgage is being paid by the estate or by the children or by somebody, the insurance company doesn't have a problem with it whatsoever. I mean, the mortgage company doesn't have a problem with it whatsoever. So for the long end, the short answer of that is nothing happens on an existing subject to. Now we can get into it maybe next week because we're going to be short on time today, but we get into it next week about what to do on a probate on a subject to. That can be a little different. It's not a big deal, but we can make that happen. So good deal. Okay, our next up is going to be the incredible, the fabulous, the wonderful Karen Maxwell, which is on the road right now. She's either going somewhere or running from somewhere. I don't know what. She got a bunch of kids, so she might be running from the kids, or she might be going somewhere. I don't know, but she's in her car. So what's going on, Karen? What's happening?
We are headed to Shreveport. We after this exhausting week that we just had, which was incredible, by the way. We needed some time to just diffuse a little bit, and the kids are with their grandma, so we're gonna head over to Shreveport, Bossier, and just unwind a little bit tonight.
Very good. Well, we've got lots of stuff happening, right? Man, you are busy. You are.
It just seems like we just go
busy.
from one thing to the next, always. So we have a new location opening up in Oklahoma City. We're super excited to have Sal and David with us. We're going to be meeting with them this week and getting that started hopefully very, very soon. We have some new locations coming up in Shreveport, in Lawton, hoping for McKinney. We just have so many people that are interested in being part of what Real Impact does. And essentially, what last week somebody asked, what is Real Impact? Well, essentially, Real Impact, at Real Impact, we train the trainers, and the trainers train their groups and their students and their anyone, like right now, anybody that's on here right now, they're IMTs, and they're reaching people nationwide. Well, actually worldwide technically, but that's what we do. We just educate people, and our goal is to change the quality of people's lives through real estate. And that's what we're here for. We're just here to help everybody and make sure that everyone gets the answers that they need to their questions, and that they feel confident that they can make their next step.
Very good. That is, I'm just excited. What we went through last week was phenomenal. I was doing a meeting every single day for
I counted it up. It was like
days.
9 meetings in less than 2 weeks. Yeah, it was, and you did them all. I didn't make them. I didn't make it to all of them, but I went to as many of them as I could. Somebody asked, why do I go to them? Well, I go to them because I'm there to support them. I'm there to support everyone. The group leaders can't speak to every single person and can't always answer questions. So that's what Roger and I are there for. If you ever see us at the meetings and you have a question, feel free to reach out to us and ask us. If your group leader's not available, But the more successful the groups are, the more successful Real Impact is, and the more people get out there and get to know us. And that they will find out that that's what we are. We are just genuine people that want to help people. And we're also real estate investors. So that's kind of another thing that people forget. We do still have real estate investing businesses that we run in addition to Real Impact. So
Absolutely. And don't cut yourself short. You were at all but one meeting, I think. I think there's one meeting you had something come up.
I did not make it to
You were at
Pam. She's on my
8 of the
she's on
9
my
of them.
radar for the next one. Yeah. I was at all of them but one.
Absolutely. So but yeah, we had a phenomenal week last week. Now the next couple of things we've got coming up. We have
Pete Fortunato in March. And then that'll be another whirlwind week, and it'll be super crazy and we're super excited about that. If you guys don't know who Pete Fortunato is, go look him up on YouTube. He's going to show you all things about creative financing and not using your own money. Any strategy that we can have in our belts, it's really funny because people will say, well, what would you do in this case? What would you do in this case? Well, there's always multiple strategies that you could use. Some may fit the buyer, some may fit the seller, some may fit both of them perfectly. So you want to not have the proverbial all your eggs in one basket. You want to have multiple strategies. And that's what, just like yesterday, you taught us so much about subject to and how you can step in and help people, relieve them of their debt, get that payment. I mean, some people are really, really worried about how they're going to make their payment, or they're not able to make their payment. They haven't been able to make the payment. And now the forbearance has ended and they're in a panic. What do I do? And that's where we come in. We're going to come in and help them. And, like you said earlier, we may not be everybody's best choice, but we're a good choice. We're a fast choice. But if it doesn't work out, like Pam said, it may work out in 60 days. It may work out in 2 years. I know that I've closed a deal 2 and 3 years after the fact. So follow-up's important. Just keeping that relationship with the seller. And Dennis said that somebody tried to sell him a house, and he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy your house now. Well, she sold it to somebody else. So, she wanted to sell. She needed to sell. So don't always say, no, I can't buy your house. I wouldn't want to do that to you. Find out what their why is. And Dennis said he never would do that again. He will buy their house. And then we have our mastermind getaway coming up end of March, 1st of April. We don't know the exact location yet, but if anybody's interested in going on the mastermind getaway, make sure you check out mastermindgetaway.com or send us a message, and we're going to be posting that link to get the updates. But yeah, it's mastermindgetaway.com. Go check it out. And, we're super excited because we were waiting on the announcement of where we're going. We have a tentative dates, March 29th through April the 2nd of 2022.
All right. Thank you so much. That is just, I'm so excited. Pete Fortunato, the more I read about this guy, the more I talk to this gentleman, the more pumped up I am getting about this. This is not just real estate. Pete Fortunato is business. I mean, he is the business guy. And if you know anybody in business, you need to talk to him about being at our event in March with Pete Fortunato. Okay. Our plan on
Absolutely.
that week is we're going to have 4 live meetings throughout the week, about a 1 hour overview of what he's going to talk about. And then that Saturday is when we are going to have Pete captured all day long. Okay. We're going to have him as he is going to be the guy for that day. And we're going to have an incredible meeting. That the guy is just, when Dennis Henson first brought him up, I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. But then I started looking into him, and I started, and oh my gosh, Dennis is spot on. This guy is just phenomenal. oh my God, he is just the information he has. He said, I can, he told me, he said, I can talk for an hour or I can talk for 7 days straight. And
Right.
he's going to condense this thing into an all day Saturday event. So keep looking for that. That's going to be towards the 1st of March, and we're going to make that happen. So we're excited about that.
And keep in mind, we're going to
Absolutely.
be doing several combined locations. So keep an eye out for that because your location may be meeting at a different location that week. So just keep an eye out for that. But you don't want to miss Peak Fortunato.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How exciting is that? So, and then we have lots of stuff coming in. A new location in Oklahoma City is going to be starting up soon. And we've got some others out there. So if you know of anybody that runs a real estate group or anybody, what we look for is we look for entrepreneurs that are real estate investors. And if
Yes.
they want to help train, that's where you're going to reach out, and you're going to reach out to us, reach out to Karen, and make that happen. So Karen, thank you so much.
Yep,
Be
absolutely.
careful driving east, and stay out of the weather, and good luck when you get there. Okay. And what is your game? What do you like to do when you go to Shreveport?
I people watch, but roulette's my game.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, good deal. Karen, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And then we'll go from there. Do we have any other questions that popped up before I put Dennis on? No, we're good. Okay. DS is Diego. Diego, great to see you. I had dinner with you the other night, and great to see you at the meeting. I hope you got some great information out of that. So so there we go. Thank you, Diego, or known on the World Wide Web as DS, I guess. All right, now we're gonna put the matriarch, the founder, the guy, the big giant head, which is Dennis Henson. Dennis Henson, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Roger. What a great day we had yesterday. I mean, I was impressed. I tell you what, as we put this together, I was hopeful that we'd be able to have a good group there. But I had no idea that it would turn out the way it did. It was really, really a wonderful day. We had great people. I met a lot of new people that I've not met before. All of the experts that you had there. It was just really well done. And congratulations on that. I'm just very pleased to have been a part of it.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I tell you what, I was so pumped up. People were like, man, I bet you're dead on your feet. I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock this morning, and I woke wide awake at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, man, I need to, I'm just so excited about the people that were there. We had Tommy that was at that meeting, that was at a meeting a couple of years ago, had never done real estate investing, and went up with 29 deals. How cool is that? That's just amazing what information can do to change people's lives. So Dennis, and Alabama won yesterday too, right?
Yes, they did, convincingly, but they're going to have a tougher game the next 2 weeks. So we'll see how that turns out.
They're not going to be playing the Girl Scouts next week?
No, not next week. But some of the things that were mentioned on tonight's call really kind of touched me, because I feel like our IMTs and people are learning from the things that we're trying to teach them. Like one of the things that Pam mentioned was, don't think I can't do this. Think, how can I do this? Or who can I get to help me do this? Those are very powerful thoughts. If you can make a habit of never saying I can't, but always saying how can I, you'll get so much more done in your life. And the things that we have coming up, Pete Fortunato and the getaway, become parts of those. And we have another franchise coming up in Grand Prairie. I'm excited about that. The one in Oklahoma City. This thing's just taking off. And if you're out there on this call and listening, and you think, well, there's not a group close to me. Well, maybe you want to start start a group yourself. You want to think about starting it yourself. And some of the things that have been asked can be answered a lot more simply just by going to realimpacttraining.com. Lots of answers on that website. There's like 3 different sections when you come to the main page. You know, do you want to learn more? Do you want to have our training side, or you want to become an IMT, start a group? Those are all answered on Real Impact Training. So it's been a great call tonight. I hope people will be anxious to send in their questions and get them answered in future weeks. I think you're all doing a wonderful job in answering the questions. I'm excited about all the things that are going on. So that's about what I have for tonight.
Boom. All right. Good deal. Dennis, thank you so much. We always try to keep this at right about an hour, and we are exactly spot on 1 hour. So thank you so much. All the IMTs, let's add everybody on here right quick, and everybody give the what was it? Was it the dating game or the whatever? You know, everybody. So okay, but so thank you all for being on here tonight, everybody. I really do appreciate everybody that was at the meeting yesterday and learned and got that information. Just let us know if we can help you in any way whatsoever, and we'll make that happen. So good deal, everybody. Next Sunday. 7 o'clock next Sunday. We'll be right here on YouTube, right here on Facebook. Get on here and we can make that happen. All right, everybody have a good day. Don't forget, we have Subject to book and we have the Royal Flush of Real Estate Investing. So go to Amazon. You can find these books. Good deal. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Good show. We are having Thanksgiving at the house next Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Next Sunday?
1 o'clock.
You just told everybody you would be on next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay,
at 1 o'clock, I'll be on here
Okay.
at 7.
Okay.
We'll just be full and burp a lot.
That's all right. Sounds good. Well, that answered that question. 'Cause I was gonna say if you wanted me to smoke some ribs for the deal, but Sunday I can't do that Sunday.
Yeah.
'Cause I got church that
Right.
morning.
Right. No. Lynn Jean always likes to do it on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So